All right, here we go. Welcome to Knowledge is Power. This is a podcast that we use this every week for Sundays and Tuesday evenings. So the evening we're having our y- young teenagers here today, and the class of 2020. How about that? I've got Elton Avery the second, Maya Jenkins. Say hello to everybody that's viewing us. Kennedy
Hi.
Jackson and Robert Anderson. Say hello to everyone. And
Hi.
Hello.
Kristen Hamilton and Nancy Smith. Say hello.
Hi.
Hey, this podcast is a podcast that I started about 3 months ago, and I started with less than 100 people viewing it. Now we're up to 40,000 people who are watching this podcast every week. So you've got a big audience, and I want you to relax and let's talk about a few things. And one of the things we're going to talk about tonight, and again, let me let everyone know I have the class of 2020 from Beaumont United. These are some young people who wants to get involved in our community and wants to be able to join the Black Lives Matters. They want to know about our civil rights and the movement that we're doing, and they want to get involved. And one of the questions was asked me when we talked about this that they want to involved in this in our community and in our civil rights movement. So I have a group here that's really excited. They wanted to express themselves, and we're going to talk about several subjects and subject topics. So we're going to start this off with, hey guys, tell me what are you guys? What is your platform? What do you want the viewers to know what you want to do here in the Beaumont area?
Okay, I'll go.
Uh,
I think I think that with this panel talk, we're mainly trying to just get out there that first of all, Black Lives Matter. We want to talk about the sensitive topic and let everyone know that it is in Beaumont. It isn't just put into one specific place, one specific city, one specific state. That if something happens in Houston, yes, it will and can happen here.
so now, what do you want to? What are you saying is that you guys want to you have a group. You all want to get involved in the Black Lives Matters, and
Yes.
and no one is paying you all attention. So you want that attention. You want to get involved. So this is the reason why I invited you guys on here so that you can express yourself and just let them know what you want to do. And I'm sure there's going to be listeners, that's viewers are watching, and probably going to reach out to you all on some things that you all can be a part of. And that's what you want. This is what you want right now. You want to be a part of something. You want to be a part of this movement. What? Wait a minute, Kennedy. Wait a minute.
Sir.
I just realized who you are. Uh, wow, all this time. Hey, cousin. I'm sorry.
Hey.
Uh, I'm sorry. Golly, I didn't reckon. I'm sorry. I didn't recognize. I didn't think about it. I'm so glad to have you. What do you? Since I'm talking about you, so what do you think? What is your thoughts and what are your plans?
My main thing is basically to let people know that's our age, that we have a voice and we can make a change too, just as much as anybody else, and that it's no age. You can start from 6 on up or whatever age. As long as you feel it in your heart and you have the passion, then you can make a change. That's basically my thing.
Robert, you want to chime in on that?
So basically, the same thing. It's just that it starts with the new generation, and we are the closest thing to the new generation. So we got to just try to break the cycle of all the bad things that's going on and start anew. And we really haven't had much of a platform anywhere in the world with teenagers our age. So it's really good to have this platform to talk about the things that we really care about and force change in our community and around the world.
Wow, that's awesome. Well, let's go here and let's ask Kristen and Hamilton, Kristen and Nancy. What do you think?
Same that Kennedy and Robert said. We're just here to let everyone know that, our voice matters. And this generation is going to be the generation that carries our future.
And I
So
agree.
this is the generation that we want laws changed. We want reform. We just want to be able to know that we're protected in the society that we're about to contribute to.
That's great. That's wonderful. And I really do want to be able to help you guys and get you all in that direction. Alton and Maya up on the top right. Hey guys.
Hi.
Hi.
Oh wow. Now you all are just graduated in May, right?
Yes.
And unfortunately, y'all, you wasn't able to walk across the stage and had a traditional graduation.
Oh yeah.
And I know how that. I mean, I know you missed out that, and I think you guys missed the prom and all that, and you still have an opportunity. I know, but you still have an opportunity to come here, and you still want to get involved in the city affairs. So let me ask you this: since we're talking about wanting to get involved, what I'm going to ask you this question: what do you feel about? What are you wanting now that you've graduated from school? You graduated from high school. What do you want to do to be able to help those that's behind you, to those that's sophomores and juniors and freshmen? What do you want the school district to change and make better for those that's coming behind you that you all didn't get?
I'm gonna have to go first.
Who want to go first? Who it doesn't matter.
Alton Maya.
Okay, go ahead, Alton.
Okay.
I go ahead. What I want to what I want to change in the school districts like us to learn more about our history. We know, like of course, the main important people like Martin Luther King, Rosa Parks. But I want to know about more people that we don't know about. Just simple as whoever made the traffic light and stuff like that. Like just more things doing our history. I want them to know more throughout the school and not throughout their parents. Like make it like a curriculum thing, and not just be just Black History Month when we learn about it. Learn it throughout year round.
Great. And I like that because when growing up, uh, and going to school myself, and I'm not no young pluck, but we did not have Black history. You guys, and I guess now it sounds like you all don't have Black history courses in school. And I did not know the history that we have right now, how pure it was, and how strong our history is. We didn't have those books. We was taught what they wanted us to teach us. So I'm understanding what you're saying. You want those courses in the school district. Am I correct?
Yes,
We
sir.
we would like to see more of ourselves represented in books and in
Right,
shows, and it not just be a February thing. And that
right. You want
that's like something major that I would like for people behind me to grow into is that we know more about what our ancestors did for us, and it.
I got you, boo. I got you. I understand. Christy, what's so funny? Hey guys, I told you, just relax and just enjoy yourself. But what you're saying tonight is very important because the school district administrators and those who are involved in the school district needs to know, and they need to hear this, that you guys want Black history in the school. You need to know about your heritage, and we do have a strong heritage. I was 40 years old when I realized that about history, about Black, and then when I got to realize how strong our Black history was, I got really involved in it, and I studied the Black history because they didn't teach us about Black history. I always thought Christopher Columbus discovered America. We was already here before he got here with his lion butt. But anyway, and this is one of the reasons why you don't know anything about the Civil War. We didn't learn that. We didn't know what. All we knew that we were brought here on ships, and we went to work on the plantation, and they owned us. But we have so much history, like inventors, like the guy, like you said, the guy who made the telephone. He was there with them. Did you not know that I found out that Jack Daniel, the liquor, the bourbon, Jack Daniel was actually really was discovered and made by a Black man, and they took him away from that because he was the really person, the one person that was behind it, and Jack Daniel himself took over and called the bourbon Jack Daniels, but it was a Black man behind that. Do you know about the elevator? Do you know that was a Black man that was brought in a Black? He invented the elevator. So we've got so much history, and I know what you're saying. Those 28 days in February, you want more history. You want those that's behind you to understand we have a strong tradition of history. And I hope someone that can share this podcast and share it to those who may can help us get that in our curriculum. That I'm sure that you will want that history, and don't stop learning because we have a ton of history. So tell me, is this what else that you feel like you can help the generation behind you because you are our future generation, and tell us what you else that you want to express yourself about getting involved in. Anybody?
Well, this is in schools more that I want to see. I want to see schools prepare us for more than just school because school and college or the army or whatever, it's not for everybody. Some people go straight into the workforce. And I want to see that because school prepares us just for those things and the standardized tests and everything. I feel like it makes us feel less of what we are just because you don't make a certain score and certain schools don't accept the certain scores that you make, but those tests they don't define how smart you are. I feel like it's a containment, and I want to see that gone or like a modernized version of it.
Alton, you want to say something, Alton? You want to add to that?
I do. How you just said, like they just preparing us for school. I want them to take. I want them to learn more about life situations. Like we actually have a health ed class, like more outside of that, like just simple as what you do when you get pulled over at a traffic stop. Something simple as that. Just learn more life situations along with our education.
Nancy?
So to piggyback off of what they just said, I would like if they would bring back like the finance classes and everything to help you with loans if you ever had to take out loans and everything, because they used to have it in high school, but they pulled it out. And I think that is something that is entirely important that the younger generation should know as well.
You mean that that's not a finance class in high school?
No.
No.
I
They're
couldn't
not-
file my taxes even if I tried. I would have to watch a YouTube video. We should be
Or
taught.
have to pay a company to learn how to do it.
Exactly.
We should be taught. That's a life skill.
Even driver's ed.
Wait a
They should
minute.
drop
Wait a
his
minute.
head out of
I mean,
This,
But
this is
people can't make it.
write a
this is
check.
this is year 2020, and they're not showing you or teaching you how to your finances, how to budget your balance, or how to open a checking account, or how
Nothing.
to.
We don't know how
Nothing
to
at
write
all.
credit.
We don't.
We don't know
You would
the
have
difference
to,
of credit cards
We
and
going
credit
in
score.
yeah,
We're
you would
going
have
to
to ask a teacher themselves, be like, hey, can you help me do A, B, C, Y, and D because I don't know what to do. And they should have a class for that because I mean I just don't want to walk up to a teacher and be like, hey, can you help me file my taxes? No. Can you please teach me that in class? I need that on my schedule.
Wow, I am
Yeah.
I'm dumbfounded because this is year 2020, and this should be in the schools because this is a life skill. This is something that you're going to have to learn. And I understand that because coming out of high school, I've noticed. And of course, guys, I'm in the automobile business. I've been in the automobile business 42 years, and so I learned it at an early age. And then I went to school, became a finance expert in business administration and the MBA in finance accounting. So I didn't have that teaching coming in growing up, and I understand that because a lot of my friends that went to school, graduated from high school, didn't even know how to balance a checkbook. Matter of fact, didn't own one, and they didn't understand why it was important to have credit, and they didn't understand a lot of things, and so that's why as a Black American, we're so far behind. That's a big gap between the white and the blacks because there's a gap there because they had this available for them, but we didn't, and our parents didn't teach us that because they didn't have it in school or they wasn't brought up that way. So, and again, this is one of the reasons why I have this show. That's fact. That's why it's named "Knowledge is Power." You've got to have knowledge if you want any power. And one thing I'm also mentioning this, and I probably want to get with the school board members and try to find out how can we get that course or those basic life skills courses in the school district. And So I'm gonna need you guys' help, be my backup, because I'm gonna ask them, say, why we don't have this in our school. This is what's hurting us. We don't know how to grow. How can we grow our young
Right.
ones and we're not teaching them how to grow, because everybody's not a college material.
Right.
Okay. So I
Mhm.
understand what you're saying, because um, that's why we have, trade schools. I mean we got to have trades, because everybody's not going to go to be a teacher, or go to college to be a professor, or a engineer. We got people that want to be pipe fitters. We got people that want to be carpenters. Well, we've got to have that in schools, and I am so dumbfounded, because I always thought this was in the school, and how to apply for a credit card, how to apply for a debit card, how to use a debit card, how to open up a savings so you can have money to save, how teaching you how to build your credit. So these are things that, and I appreciate you all bringing it up, because this needs to be known, because this is what you want. This is how you're going to be able to survive. So. Um, what other courses that you feel that's important to you, the young youth now, that needs to be expressed?
I honestly feel like some type of business class should be in the school district. Because honestly, like I said, most people are not built for college or the military. They're gonna go break into the workforce. And majority of, I know for me for sure, but I feel like majority of people my age don't want to be sitting behind a desk for the majority of their after school life after school. So they should learn and know stuff about how having their own business and etc. That's something I really aspire to do, but I, for the most part, don't know anything about it. I just learned a couple weeks ago that before I start college, if I save enough money, I can start, flipping houses and stuff like that, and just making some money and then just expand, 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 which is really what I want to do. And you don't necessarily need a college degree for that too. But we don't even get introduced to that stuff in high school. That's, I feel like, is a problem, because like I said, majority of people don't want to just sit behind a desk for majority of their career. So I feel like that having some type of business classes where you know how to start your own business and everything like that will really help the unemployment rate of Black Americans in the world and far beyond, honestly. And we just be more productive all around.
Right, Robert, you're gonna make it, guys. We just got to get y'all some support, and that's what's missing in high school. In school, having support, and everybody parents. Everybody parents wasn't raised the same way. And I look at my son. He's 17 years old too, and he's going to be a senior this coming fall. And he already know he has his own debit card. He has his own bank account. Because that's the way I taught him how to do those things. And and he, of course, he's already in the stock market. So that'll blow your mind, because you have stock. I don't know about no stock, and that's something you really get involved in, because you can make money in stock and save money in stock. You can build stock. These are things that need to be involved in. And again, I'm going to make sure that we get involved in the school district, and I'm pretty sure that there's someone some of the administrators are going to see this podcast, and a group of us are going to see if we can help better our black community, black kids, our future, because you guys are our future, and we want the best for you guys. So that is great. Robert. That was a great. You made a great point there, and I appreciate that. So tell me this, guys. I know some of you are going to go to college, right? And some of you guys
Right.
Yes,
are going
sir.
to leave town to go to college, right?
Yes, sir.
I know that you probably would tell me, because I know my son. I know when he leaves here next May, he's not coming back. I know it, because you know what it is. He's not coming back. I know him. I know. But you know what I thought about is that we don't have anything here to keep you here. The opportunities are not here.
Right.
Don't you agree?
Right.
Right.
And
Yeah.
that's something
Yes,
I want to
sir.
know, because I have a few contacts of those who in position to try to make something happen. And I like for you all to express yourself, your thoughts about what the city of Beaumont. Let's talk about the city of Beaumont. What are you expecting for them? Because right now, with this town city, excuse me, This city is stagnant. It doesn't have anything to keep you here. There's nothing to entertain you. There's nothing here to keep you occupied. You don't have any recreation, right? There's nothing here. So I met with a group of young youth, young people last night, and we're trying to come together on how we're going to change the city. And it was a great attendance, and but now it's time to those who wants to get involved, like you all. It's time for us the older people, the older group, to come and start to grooming you all the right way, to grooming you so you can be ready and be in position to make changes. But right now, it's up to us to make changes. So now, and another thing, I'm going to ask you guys to please help in the voters registration as well. Okay, are y'all involved in
All right.
voting? Right. I want to get
Yes,
your
sir.
classmates, those that finished school with you, and those who are turning 18 years old this year. Let's get them involved, and also we have a 2020 census that's out that we need you all to be able
Yes.
to sign up, folks, and register. And let's get involved. You have to get involved and learn how this deal works, and so we can learn how to make changes right going forward. I like to see you all. I like to see you guys, maybe the mayor of the city one day. And you right now you're showing me that you have that in you. So, what are you expecting? That what is? There's nothing. There's nothing impossible. There's nothing really impossible, guys. You can do anything you want to do if your mind is made up. In 1989, I became a General Motors dealer in 1989, and at that time there was only 13 black minorities in the business in the whole nation. That was God. If you make your mind up, you can do anything you want to do. So I'm telling you right
Amen.
now, that was unheard of back then, those days. It really wasn't heard of, but it happened because I was focused and I made up my mind. I didn't want to live standard. I didn't want to live a standard life. And that's what I expect out of you all. To want to reach that next level, but that's a level after that. That's a level after that. You can change the world. You really can. So I'm saying is to say you like don't give up on anything you have your mind made up on doing, and stay focused. And right now you showing us that you want to be involved in taking yourself to another level. So Nancy and Christy, y'all all in one room talking and chat. Let's get this. um, what do you like to see here, Mama, to make it better?
Can you repeat that question? I'm sorry.
Oh yeah.
You broke up.
All
You
right, I know y'all was laughing so, but I'm gonna ask you, what do you like to see in Beaumont for the betterment of Beaumont? What do you like to see new here? What do you like to see to come here? What do you like for Beaumont to have?
I think we need a water park. That's just But I'm saying like we need more things for the kids to stay entertained because we can't expect kids not to get into trouble when they have nothing to distract themselves from the
Right.
trouble. And they're growing up in a world of technology where they seeing things and certain things are right and certain things are wrong. And it's like, what's gonna make me look cool? So I think if we had something to distract them, like a water park.
Yeah, and I feel like you know how if you go out at least to like Baytown or something, they have like a main event or something. Nobody wants to come to Beaumont because all we have is like the movies in the mall,
Yeah.
Cheddar's, Papados. We don't have nothing fun. Because I know I would want to go to Houston and go to Dave and Buster's or something. Like something fun. We got Chuck E. Cheese, but look what Chuck E. Cheese at now.
For me, the one way to get teens more involved is like, for me personally, I'm going into the arts in college. And for me, what it took me to be involved in the arts, I had to go all the way to Port Arthur and Lumberton and go as far away somewhere. I can't be local. And I have keep me like something other than just acting. They have acting everywhere, but nothing like dance, regular paint. Like they just need more real rounded stuff to help have people more involved. around in the local
Yeah, I
community.
agree with Alton. I was actually just talking about something with I think my dad, because I actually wanted to go into something like that and start off and then bring it back, because there's really nothing to do when I was super involved in the arts. We had Beaumont community players, but like if you don't get the part, then you just there. So I mean, I want a place where you can go and you actually learn how to do it. You learn the backstage parts of it. I want you to learn more than just your lines or your role in that show. That was something I was actually talking about
That's
just
something else we
recently.
need in schools. Definitely.
Also, to
Right.
add on to that, like along with the arts, to learn like to have more different, like if they're just doing acting, have more plays, more Black history, just like something simple as the color purple. Like they kind of sometimes they switch it
Right.
around to where it's not like how it really is, you know. It just have more dealing with the Black history thing. Just have something more towards us also.
Or like on the arts, some people not actresses and it's just not for them.
Right.
Like,
Yeah,
I started off with acting in middle school, but I would not want to sign up for a play right now to save my life
Mm-mm.
because I'm geared more towards poetry now, and there's like no poetry clubs. Or like I think we should try
yeah,
to capture certain interests and not just a overall thing like theater.
Right.
We
Facts.
should go
yeah,
deeper into it.
Like
I
everybody loves
agree.
music, but they don't have like a music engineering class where you can learn how to make beats or do this and that and stuff
Exactly.
like that. They don't
So you
have
can learn the
that.
background part of it.
They
yeah.
just,
Because I
you
was in
know,
this organization called Tane. There's an engineering organization, but it's more generalized. But you know, like how he said they have
Yeah.
music engineering, they didn't touch that part. They only touched like mechanical, electro, and chemical, and that's it. They didn't get to the all the other like more broad parts. They have like computer engineering, music, audio. They didn't get into that part. They only get to like the I guess you could say the popular engineering. They didn't have. They don't hit the specifics of that career.
And right, and to piggyback off of the engineering part, we have this big school, Lamar, who's very big in engineering. And when they come and they talk to us about engineering, those are the engineering things they focus in. So people who are not exactly like me and they just hear what they're told and don't actually look into it, they don't know that Lamar has the music engineering stuff. So I feel like schools and people should hit on that to gear towards other people, because not everybody is built the same. So like you really just have to work around that, and you have to realize that this is not a general population. Everybody is different, just like me and Robert are different, me and Nancy are different. So I feel like you just have to reach everybody. Of course you're not going to reach everybody, but at least they're hearing something that makes them more interested to look into what they want to do.
facts.
Yeah. Also adding to like she said about Lamar, how it's a difficult choice for me to choose Lamar because we all think, oh, it's still in Beaumont. And nobody wants to stay in Beaumont, even though we've been here all our lives. But like Lamar is nationally ranked. It's a great education program. But it was like if we just had something from younger to have us to be attracted to Beaumont, we've been here all our lives. It wouldn't be a tough choice when people get to that choice when they got to pick a college to go to. They're like, oh, that's in Beaumont. I don't want to go to Lamar, even though they want to go into engineering and it's number 3 in the nation. It's like just have something to pull them to stay at Beaumont, and then after once they graduate to go and go out to experience more.
I think it's
Also,
Do you agree that if you went to Lamar, which is Lamar is a great college, great university, what would but it's again we don't have anything to we've all we our let's see our demographics here in Beaumont and is directed for petrochemical area. It needs to be more diverse. Don't you? It needs to be more diverse. Have another type of diverse opportunity for you all, right?
right.
Yes.
Right.
So that is an area that the fathers of this city has to understand that it's more than the petro chemical area. It needs to be rounded, the nursing, medical. It needs to be all types of different jobs opportunity because everybody's not going to be operators, crafts. So, what type of business would you like to illustrate it to come to this area? Well, industry, anything like let's say
Um,
let's take Austin. Austin has grown so much now that it would be in the top 10 largest city in the United States,
Right.
and because they had a different type of feel. You've got distribution. You got Amazon there. You have Dell Computer. You have Apple there. You have all these different types of industry has just joined in and has moved to Austin, and Austin has just blown up. But again, I understand we're here in Boardmont, Texas, and we don't have
My boy, mama.
not very much we can do because of our city leaders has not don't have a vision. I'm just going to tell it like it is. They don't have a vision. There's no vision to grow this city. And so that's something I want you to understand that you might want to be in politics. It's something the area you might want to go into. If you see a need in the area that you feel good about, get involved, guys. And so I'm going to take some questions from the audience, the viewers that's listening. If there's any question you'd like to ask these young people, these are our youth, and this is our younger generation, and they want to be a part of what's going on. They want to be a part of the movement. They want to be a part in growing their hometown. It's more than about playing football and sports. It's more than that. It's more about getting involved. And these people want to be heard and they want to be involved. So with that said, that there are former students and they want right now wanting to do some things. Now last night or the night before last, you guys was invited to a town hall meeting, right?
Ooh,
Right.
yes.
Yes.
Yeah. And
Let me
you
get.
guys were disappointed when you got there because no one paid you all in attention. They ignored you.
Yes.
So
Yes.
tell me why. Tell the audience why you felt that way.
I feel like they really. Oh, well, Nancy, go ahead.
Go ahead, Kendi. I can wait.
I guess
Okay. I just felt like they really didn't. Well, maybe they understood where they was coming from, but they couldn't really answer the questions because, like Nancy said at the meeting, the answers that we're needing is not from our black officers. It's from those who don't look like us, because they're the ones we're having the issues with. They're the ones that we're fearing, and they're the ones that's basically not
Doing
starting it, but doing it. And I just feel like they couldn't really go into depth, and they didn't understand that this is really affecting us, especially being that we're 18. They're like, oh, they don't know anything yet. They haven't experienced the real world, but we have. We've seen it. We're living in it right now, and I feel like they just didn't answer us. They didn't understand. I don't know what it was, but they could have asked us to clarify a question. I don't know, but something it just didn't sit right with
It
me.
honestly feel like it was very well scripted. Because
Yes,
after probably two questions, everybody was asking the questions after that, it was kind of the same type of answers for the
right.
most
I
part.
felt like it was a venting session for them more than a understanding for us. And
Right.
that's how it felt to me.
Like
Not to say
adding.
that they were genuine with their answers, just the fact that the problem is not with them. And there probably maybe one white cop up there, but he wasn't even on the panel. He was sitting
He
in
was
the
Thank you.
He was just saying
back.
there
Like
was no
adding on to
majority
what
race.
Kennedy said.
There was no majority race seated at that panel.
It was all black people, and I feel like if they
And
had at least one white cop to like help us piggyback on what they were saying, it would have been better, and maybe we would have got something across in us question answer type situation. I just feel like they walked over our questions and didn't tell
Right.
us the real reason. I feel like they should have put their heart into it and said like, yeah, it's hard out here, but like they told us, we if we get pulled over, tell the police officer we feel threatened.
Right.
You
I just
should
however,
want
do that,
them to
but
match our
same thing
energy.
I feel
happens.
like
I want the
that's not
same
gonna
respect.
change anything if a
Right.
white cop comes up to me and sees my do rag. If let's say I drive an older model Buick, I don't have nothing against older model Buicks, but I'm just saying, and I'm blasting loud music. He gonna think I'm a thug probably. I don't know how they feel, but that's what I'll think. And I just be like, oh sir, I feel threatened. They gonna be like, why? Now they pulling me out the car saying I'm resisting. I
Right.
just feel
Right.
like that's not okay.
And add on to what Kennedy said, how they said when she asked, what she had asked, oh, we're talking about we not the people that we need here, the white cops, they're not here. They said that we're the supervisors, so it's our responsibility. like I feel, yeah, you could be a supervisor, but something could still happen that you don't know about. Like for instance, a principal of a school, yeah, you over the whole school, but they have students back here doing something in the back of the school that you don't know about. So you know, is that kind of principle of it? Like, yeah, you might be the supervisor, but it's stuff that you don't know that's still happening that we know. Like
Exactly.
My
that.
Okay.
that
question, I'll just go ahead and say it. My question was, how do you balance Black Lives Matter and Blue Lives Matter? Because I was in a session earlier with Lamar earlier in the week with Miss Zena Stevens, and she actually explained how does she handle it. So I kind of wanted to know how they handled it. And him answering, talking about a supervisor and all of that, it didn't sit right because you still have to go through the training. You know, you didn't start off as a supervisor. You started off at the bottom. So why you can't give me that answer? That's just how I was feeling. And I felt like you really just pushed me to the side. If you're watching, maybe not, but somebody is hearing me out there, and that's really just all I want is to be
Okay.
heard.
Exactly.
and like
Well,
my question was along with the drug test you take all the time, do they also have a psychological test? Because over time, police officers see things throughout their time working, they can mess up their minds, and like over time, that your brain's going to change. Like, do you re-evaluate them to see if their brain changing how they view other people? But they gave me the answer where, yeah, and when they initially come in, they have a psychological test, but after that, they don't have another one. But over time, your brain could change and you could think differently of somebody else.
So you guys was at a town. Hold 1 second. You guys was at a town hall meeting. They invited you there. They wanted you all to express what y'all felt about being a young black adults, and what would you do if you was stopped over? If a police stop you in a car. You asked that question and they couldn't give you an answer. I'm just a little confused. Tell me more
okay.
about it so the audience
It
can know
was
what
so
really happened.
bounce. It was really it wasn't really a straightforward question. Like from the question I asked, does personal, like, if they pull over somebody that black, look like they grew up in the southern end of Beaumont, does that trigger something else in their mind and make them feel like, oh, he might have something in his pocket or in his car, et cetera, like that? And one of the things the man told me say is you shouldn't be judged by what you have on, by how you act and this and that, et cetera, which is all good and all. But one thing that kind of shook me different, that I really didn't have this realization until this man said it. He said you got to understand what world you live in, and how he sat down his I want to say his son and his daughter and gave them the talk, not the sex talk, the talk about what to do with cops and everything like that. Pulled over. The fact that black fathers feel like we have to have a talk about how to act when a cop pulls you over, that should trigger something, that something got to change if you're working in the criminal justice system. Honestly, that should not. Everybody know predominantly what's right and wrong, what to do when you get pulled over, how to be respectful. So the fact that you got to have a talk where you got to have your hands on what you call it, make sure you're talking with full face, don't make no full sudden movements. That is kind of crazy to me, and
Right.
like I really don't agree with that. Now, of course, if the world doesn't change for the most part, I would have that talk with my sons too. But I feel like if you sign up for a job in the criminal justice system, being a cop, judge of the peace, whatever, etc., it shouldn't have to be a moment where somebody black or any race at all should feel like they have to give their children or nephews or whatever a talk about how to act when a white cop with a opposite race cop pull you over. That's just something that just blew my mind. I'm like, you don't think that's something that should be changed? And like I said, they kind of just still bounce around that and everything like that. It just, I don't know.
Oh, okay.
Go
Y'all
ahead.
can go.
Nancy.
Go.
Oh, okay.
Go ahead.
Okay, so to this panel talk, because Kirsten has something to add too, but Kirsten wasn't able to make it to the panel talk. There was 3 issues that I just bottom line was the issues. Number 1, they came into this panel talk closed-minded. If you're going to have a conversation with us, if you want us to voice our opinion, you have to be open-minded. Our opinions might not match your opinions, but don't discredit. Everything we said, they tried to discredit. It was never something that we said, if they didn't agree with it, oh, you gonna know. Because instead of just saying, I value your opinion, but I feel differently, instead they avoided our questions. They act like we weren't asking good questions, and they stuck to the same answer as if it was scripted. Number 2, when he said, this is the world we live in is the world that we're now trying to change. So I felt like that was a horrible answer to tell anyone. When
Right.
Kennedy got up there, this is number 3. When Kennedy got up there, she said, "How do you feel about Blue Lives Matter versus Black Lives Matter?" And he looks her in the eyes and says, "A life is a life." And we all understand that a life is a life, but every life is not being taken away from them at this very moment at an accelerated
Exactly.
at the hands of the
So,
police. That was our issue that they felt was the supervisor's problem. And if the people at the top took accountability for their cops, we wouldn't be here to begin with. So that's what I was trying to ask because, sir, my issue isn't with the people at the top, at least not the people at the top in Beaumont, Texas. Congratulations, you're taking accountability for your officers, but are your officers taking accountability for themselves?
Right.
That was the issue because if every officer took accountability for themselves, we wouldn't need a Black Lives Matter movement. Everything would be okay.
That's just that on that.
Now go ahead, Kirsten. Kirsten has something to say.
So the little panel meeting or whatever. They expect us to talk out. They want us to speak. They want us to be heard. But how when you keep closing us off? We speak, and it's like it go in one ear and out the other. It's traumatic. As a Black person, I'm outside and you see the police riding down the street. It's traumatic to the point where you go back home. You don't even want to stand outside no more because you don't know what exactly they're looking for. They could come looking for you and you can fit a description that they had. It's a misidentification. I can't drive. I am terrified to drive next to a police because I feel like because the windows are tinted, they about to pull me over saying my window's too dark. I'm terrified. I can't do something as a Black person opposed to as a white person could do. They are living like perfectly fine. I'm not going to say every white person is, but the majority of them, they have it easy. We as people of color are struggling to continue on. We don't have the same platform as a white person does. So I applaud like every white person that has used their platform to help us out and the Hispanics and Native Americans. I love that because our platform is being diminished. They are trying to silence us as much as they can because they know we will start anything at any given moment. And that's what I have to say.
It's terrifying just knowing that if we don't change the world right now, we're gonna have to grow up and have that talk with our children, the talk that we're getting from our parents, the talk that African American men are getting from their parents. We're about to have to give our children if we don't fight for change now. So basically what we're trying to say is we understand that all lives matter, but all lives can't matter if Black lives don't matter.
Right.
Preach.
Amen.
You can't say all
Amen.
lives matter and not care about African Americans dying at an accelerated rate, not caring about the Hispanic that just went missing from the military camp.
Milwaukee. Yeah.
We can't say all lives matter, but put it's different. What's the word I'm looking for? Lord, I lost my words. We can't put our own perceptions on the meaning of all lives matter. We can't add our own rules, all lives matter, but we can't put a but next to it because it's not fair to us. And if the roles were reversed, I'm pretty sure they would be doing the same things we were doing and we are going to do. So yeah, that's how we felt about the
can't
panel.
protest the protest.
Right. We just need help understanding that we know all lives matter, but we need y'all help to help everybody know that Black lives matter too. That's what we're saying. We know that all lives matter, but do you know that all lives matter? Because all lives cannot matter, like Nancy said, until Black lives matter, and that's just the point that we need to get across.
And
And
you
like,
getting your point across. Go ahead. Anybody want to add in?
to add to that, like we try to make a change into it. And I went to a rally with NAACP, and I seen other colors there. Like I seen Mexican and white people there. But the only problem I have with that, like, yes, you come, but you don't use your privilege to try to make that change in our community. Yeah, we've been trying to say something for years, like hundreds of years now. But if you just take the white privilege that you have and say something, it's gonna shake them up a little bit. And then when you start growing and growing, something of course something sooner is gonna change sooner than later. It might change if we keep going on and on with this years and years on. But we have the more like who we having a problem with the white people, if they come and use their white privilege, it might change sooner than that. That's one way like you can help change it more. They just use their privilege in the right way.
I agree.
Kirsten has something
Absolutely
to
great.
say.
Great point. It's great. Y'all doing well. I'm enjoying it. If I'm just being quiet and let you guys just talk it out. Go ahead.
Um, so my thing is, they don't want to see people of color really win. Some people at the top that are non-colored, they don't want to see us become those doctors, those engineers, because they know we can take their job in a heartbeat. They want to
But
make sure we stay at the bottom, and
Right.
they want to make sure they stay at the top. They look down at us at any given moment that they can. They don't see us as we are qualified. We are just as qualified as they are, if not better. And
what?
I
Yes.
don't,
Right.
I don't like to be
Exactly.
discredited. I don't like to feel like you belittling me, and I know I'm more than what you're saying that I am, and I want to prove it to you, and I'm going to prove you wrong once I get my doctorate. I do this, and
Uh,
nobody can take that away from me. But yet they are still trying to make sure, with all these tests and everything, they are trying to make sure you don't get nowhere.
Right.
You have no money, no college. How are you going to get a degree?
Nothing.
and they make it like the only way we can make it out is by playing the sport or making music.
Right.
And
Yeah,
that's not all what it's about, honestly, for black people. Period.
But honestly, what it does is, and it's a horrible thing, but what it does is honestly for just us, truly, it fits us, is that it puts a fire under us to make us
Right.
want to make it. And it makes us want to become all the different things so that the people coming after us can see, okay, well, they did it, so can I. So we're
Right.
going to put more African Americans in schoolhouses, and we're going to put more African Americans in politician roles. So you see yourself. So you know, hey, I need you to grow up and to come take my spot and stand for the same thing or better things than I thought of or could stand for. And
Right.
this is the reality that we live in, but we cannot not make it. We have to make it just because right now we're heard, but in a couple years, we're going to be even wider with our audience. And we've been just blessed with teachers in high school and middle school that have taught us, hey, I see you. You need to see you. You can go wherever you want to go. I'm going
Right.
to place my faith and place my love and my heart into you. So, I'm going to push you to go wherever you want to go. And I don't ever want you to get where you want to be and get comfortable.
Right.
Strive higher. You can always do more. It's
That's
never
right.
done. It's never
Right.
enough. So I just say we're blessed in that fact. And also I keep seeing someone asking, are we registered to vote? We are all registered to vote, yes, and ready
Yes.
to
Yes.
Lord.
very
Yeah.
ready to vote.
Just voted. To testify to what Kirsten said about how they don't want us to be better, like just personal experience. Um, when I first started, because I dance now, and when I first started dancing, I started progressing because it was a natural thing for me because my mom used to dance. So it's a natural thing for me. So over time, I started getting better and better. And I was getting better than some of the older kids. And so about 4 years in, about 5 years in me dancing, I was getting close to my peak, not close to the peak, but I was getting even better than I was before. I was called a threat because I was getting better than the older ones. And I was a behavior problem. I was always the first person there, always trying to do my best. And it's like couldn't be better than the older person, but the older person was white. So they want to let me be hotter than them. That's what. So from that, it always minimized my worth too. But my mom, she helped me to realize that you're gonna get better. Don't let this down bring you down. You're gonna move on. And you're gonna go up. And like literally that summer later, I went to Debbie Allen and I got even better since I left. So it's like to help us with that, we just need some kind of figure, even just a mentorship program to help with something just with that, to help us realize, know your worth. Don't let nobody else, regardless of who it is. And also another thing, like it don't have to be just people. Like they're saying, all skin folk ain't kinfolk. Like
Ooh.
Right.
I know black people that have belittled me before. So they just also
Lord.
that before too. Just to know your worth and just like to help you bring yourself up along with everybody else.
Right.
Man, that was awesome.
Kinfolk ain't
Great,
kinfolk.
great,
Right.
Yes,
great,
sir.
Black
great,
people, we
great.
need to uplift each other.
Good job.
Yeah.
Everybody not gonna make it with you to the finish line. The odds may be
Hello.
Somebody needs to live to
God
tell
knows.
the story.
Hello.
We have too
I
many
mean,
people against us already, so we need to stick together as
Exactly.
a race. Like us belittling each other, that's just not gonna cut it because you have whites against you. I'm gonna say it just like that, and then you have other
right,
races
Exactly.
who are also against you. So I feel like as
right.
a race, we need to stick together because us belittling each other is just it's really not doing anything but bringing us down. Because then you're left to believe what everybody is telling you, and
But you know, that
That's
reflects on this home also. When it comes on how African Americans treat each other, they're reflecting what has been taught to them, what they have
right,
seen and what they've been around. So it's time to change the environment up. That's what it
right.
Exactly.
is. It's time to get back into the churches. It's time to we need to
Amen.
support going to school. You can't skip school, sweetie. Like we need to get back to that. And thank God that we grew up in that generation where skipping school was not really an option.
Right.
But as we get older, the parents are getting younger
And relax.
and more relaxed
And
and
it's
think
gonna be like us
earth
raising the kids.
exact and you know it's we're coming up in a generation where you know there's few of us like I say our friendship circle we're very dedicated but a lot of people just kind of walk around like they've earned it and they deserve it
Right.
but they don't want to work for it.
Mm-hmm.
So it's all really thank God that the people we've surrounded ourselves around, the people that raised us, has taught us you gotta pray for it, you gotta work for it, you gotta show God that you want it. And if He gives you something, you gotta make sure that you use the gift. You can't sit down and expect to make it to the finish line.
Right.
We preaching. I like
And
this.
I
Thank
mean
God.
to
Yeah.
piggyback
We
off
do.
what
Thank
Nancy
God.
said,
Hey, go
this
ahead,
all I
man.
gotta say is this is why Harriet couldn't free all the slaves. Because they still had that one person that wanted to stay with Massa. It's not always gonna be everybody. You gonna always have that one person to tell the other side of the story. But just feel like everybody should be with Harriet. I was gonna be with Harriet. I was gonna be the one looking at the star.
Yeah,
But
I get that.
I was gonna be gone.
To
Couldn't handle
add
it.
to Nancy, it's like a childish story. Like she said, you don't have to just don't sit there and just try to get to the finish line. You're just sitting there sitting back with the tortoise and the
Right.
hare. The tortoise might be slow, the hare is fast, but the hare took that nap,
Hmm.
and the tortoise won.
Hmm.
What?
Simple as that. Like
Hmm.
you sitting there just not working at all, you're not gonna make it to that finish line. But you just keep striving, working hard, learning, make yourself better. You're gonna make it there and be successful.
Right.
Just
The
something
truth of
simple as
it
that.
Truth of it is,
Guys,
the majority race, they just took a nap and we finna pass them up. And that's
Pass
oh,
all.
them up. We about to get first
They just
place.
took a nap
Hello.
and we're about to pass them on up.
guys, y'all have been so impressive this evening. I am just thrilled to have you all here, and you are our future. And I want those who are watching the show, watching it right
6 minutes
now,
left.
understand that we got some young fire and some kids that's really ready to put something out there and want. I always say this right now. I say this when we talk about Black Lives Matters. We've got the momentum going right now.
Mhm.
We
Mm.
cannot stop. We cannot let them rock us back to sleep. We got to keep our foot on the pedal all the way through. And you guys have the right mentality, and I know that you're going to be great. And I like everything you're saying. I love it, everything. And hey, we got about 10 more minutes. Let's go for it. Talk about it. Let's go. I was got about to end this thing, but it's been so good. It's been so impressive. I don't want to hear more because I want to make sure they see this podcast. I want them to understand knowledge is power, and you guys want a change in the school district lessons. I mean, I'm sorry, not lessons. Curriculum and having Black history, not just for the month of February.
Right.
Y'all want it as a curriculum, right?
Right.
Yes. Yes,
So
sir.
Yes.
this is something that we got to fight for, and we got to get there, and also stay involved in the movement. We've this is a new movement. This is a 2020 civil rights movement, and we got to
Exactly.
stay on top of them. We're gonna make some changes. And George Floyd
So she said,
is yeah, George Floyd, and we're not going to stop with just George Floyd. We're going to continue because we're going to get what we want. We want justice. We want equality. We want equality in learning. We want equality in living. We want it all. We're not going to stop halfway. We want it all. So I understand what you're saying.
she can.
So go ahead. We got 5 more minutes. Let's go.
So,
My future.
Okay,
Okay.
so
oh,
what I don't like is what I don't like is how Westbrook does not celebrate Black History. I'm just saying, I just really don't like that because they say it's diversity. It's in the month of February. So what do y'all do? Do y'all just go over the fact that it's Black History Month, or do y'all just talk about it in class? I just don't like that. At BU, we celebrated it.
we had a
Yeah,
whole
right.
week
I
over
We
didn't
had
even
a
dressing
know
whole
up
about
and
we
that.
everything.
we had a whole
Oh,
movement thing that we did in school. But with Westbrook, they think Westbrook is better than us. But behind the cameras, Westbrook isn't. All the stuff that's been under wraps with Westbrook that all the kids know, but the teachers and the principals want to brush under the rug. No, y'all want to put BU on the platform to show us like, oh, they're not doing good, they're not doing this, that, and the other. But look at Westbrook. Have a kid go inside of Westbrook and see what's happening. Westbrook is 10 times worse than BU. And I'm sorry if y'all went to Westbrook in these comments or in the slide. I'm sorry. But I went to Central and BU, and my fellow colleagues, they went to Ozan. And we were the belittle schools. But look at
Right.
Westbrook.
Right.
Ask a kid from Westbrook what's going on behind the closed doors, and they'll tell you.
if we're gonna talk about it, then let's talk about it.
Let's
Beaumont United is at a disadvantage when
Right.
we're put against Westbrook. And I have, if we're gonna speak some facts, let's speak some facts.
come on with it. Come on.
Simple things. We wanted to paint our parking spots. Every year, Westbrook paints their parking spots. That's all we wanted as seniors was to paint our parking spots. And they looked our student activities director in the face and told her that we couldn't do that because they didn't feel like cleaning it up. Y'all clean up the other schools every year. But when we ask for something simple, something that could just brighten our spirits and make us feel better about our senior year, it's a no. And
And
then you
stuff
go
like
on the
that. I'm
side
sorry.
of you have classroom disadvantages at Beaumont United. You have size disadvantages at Beaumont United. We have a lot of disadvantages, but we didn't let it hinder us, thank God, because we had people to support us, like our APs and our principals to support us and tell us, hey, you're the perfect class vision of 2020. And, we got to see things better than what it's given to us. But we are heavily disadvantaged when it comes to Westbrook, including the fact that they put us in the spotlight. We're in the limelight. If we do something bad, it's
We
their
on the news like that, and that's not right.
they gonna be reporting with their shoulders back and head high.
Like,
about
let's say if Westbrook had a brawl, let's say school's in right now, Westbrook had a 20 people brawl. You wouldn't see that on the news. But let's say when we had that fight Friday, who was campaigning that fight Friday? BU. I know Westbrook kids, if that was gonna be, they was gonna be fighting just along with us. But since it's BGOE, we not okay.
I see Miss Hendricks just asked who is our amazing AP guys.
Oh,
She
Sharon
said,
Hendricks with the 12th grade
she said,
AP.
where do we go from here? And here's what we want. Here is our list of demands. We want police reform. We want to stop being fearful every time we go outside. I want to not have to tell my children how to act when they see police. I would like Beaumont United to stop being in the limelight like we are a horrible school and we are very intelligent, young
Exactly.
young African American and Hispanic and even Native American adults going into this world. I would like for that to stop.
What?
I would like for the school district to treat us with a little bit more respect and stop telling us that our voice matters, but then act like they didn't hear us when we say what we say. And does anybody else have some demands? Because I know that when I come back to pay my dues and pay my respect to Beaumont, it's going to Beaumont United directly and nowhere else.
Exactly.
I'm going
I
to
personally, hello. Whenever.
to raise
Oh,
me.
I want to say too hard.
okay.
Go,
I
Kennedy.
personally would like to see more AP classes at Beaumont United, being that we didn't have them like that, and Westbrook has them, and other classes. Just for the curriculum, this may be biased, but there's a forensics class, and I am going into it, but I couldn't take it because it wasn't broadcast like that at BU, so therefore we had to do rid of the class. I would like to see us have equal opportunities with those classes because I promise you, we are just as smart if we give the chance to express it. That's all. That's all I would like.
And
Robert
I
has
have.
something.
whether most people see it or
Oh,
not, that really diminishes us students. Like I always think back to a quote Tupac said, "The hate you give little infants ifs everybody."
somebody
And
Hillary
not to
Clinton
say
break
we're
it
infants, but infants could be infants could be used as immature minds, right? And we haven't even been introduced to the world yet. We're just not graduating and everything like that. She wants to go into forensics, yet she cannot take a forensics class due to the fact that she goes to Beaumont United High School. We wanted to paint our parking lot. Something as simple as painting on parking lot, we can't, but Westbrook can. They're like, oh, I might as well not ask. I might as well just do it without anybody asking. Just and that and the other. That kills the mindset of the younger generation and was leads to cops feeling like they can do this and that and the other. It's just a long line of everything, and it's due to the hate that is given to infants by the older generation of people that feel like it's okay, and that's something that really has to change.
I
RP
have
Tupac.
two things to add. Like one starting with school. I went to Career Center in the morning and I came back to BU, but at Career Center I took welding. And when you in your senior year, you're expected to do enroll with LIT. And by the end of the year, you get certification in welding. So I was supposed to get my certification, but I'll call LIT to see why I'm not getting it because they don't do the same speed as college is supposed to be. And so we just get somehow just try to influence, make sure we go to the same speed to help kids. Like there's a lot of kids that's going to LIT for welding that I know that I took class with. They're not going to a 4-year school, but they got to start basically from scratch. So you got to get their certification and graduate in 2 years. And another thing where everybody want us young people to vote, a lot of us don't vote because we don't have nobody that come to us directly and try to just appeal to us. Like
Yes, Lord.
I don't think he's running for anything this year, but like AJ Turner, every time I come to school, he's always there. He's always at school talking to some students all the time. If we just had somebody that's running to come talk to us, to see how we feel, to see what we live in, to see how we are as a person, that would help us to encourage ourselves to vote. I always wanted to vote ever since before I even turned 18. But that's because of the household I'm from. There's people
Right.
that's not from that household. There's a single parent household or in foster care. They don't have that kind of household where they've been brought up and raised to go and vote as soon as they turn 18. So it's like just have somebody come appeal to us directly, not what they think they know about us, but what they actually do know for facts.
Man,
Yeah.
you made a great point, Elton, and you are correct. And that was a question that brought up last night in a meeting that why we're not getting the younger teenagers that who are turning 18 out to vote. And you just answered the question. And just like you don't just need a mentor, you need more than a mentor. We have a long list that we've got to go through. We got to get and make sure that we reach out and catch those that's right behind you in the year after that. And we've got to get in those schools and we've got to educate those who are behind you, the generation behind you. We've got to educate them on what to vote for, who to vote for, why we are voting, and the reason why we're voting. Well, right now you can see the reason why we need to vote.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
Yeah.
Before then, we went to sleep. We got a little bit what we needed, and then we went to sleep. They rocked us back to sleep. They promised us a lot of stuff, and then we went back to sleep. But now you see, we can't go back to sleep now.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
So, guys, I am very impressed with you all, and I think I'm gonna give you a few more minutes to talk about answer a few questions that the comments in the comments boxes. If you could probably see the same comments I'm looking at, and pick one and go for it.
Somebody
Okay,
asked earlier,
oh.
Maya. That was your
But
question. You
before,
Oh yeah,
before we
somebody
answer,
asked what BGOE stood for. It means Brook
yeah,
Gang over everything. I know
um
it's not proper English, but it's
that's
everything.
what they stand for. What happened to the career center? The career center is still running.
Yeah, Christian are good, but I mean,
Is that like for certain careers they don't pick up the dual enrollment because at last year I did it. You do it for 2 years, 11th and 12th grade year, and I did it both years. And in my 11th grade year, they said for me to go back my 12th grade year, I have to apply for dual enrollment at LIT. So I did that, and I got in to go next year. But I was like, "Did you ever do this?" They said, "No, I never did it." I was like, "So how did this happen?" And so I was asking later on by second semester, like, "Oh, do we get our certification for welding at all?" They said, "No, because we didn't. The teacher didn't pick it up for that year." And then so we reapplied for second semester, but it didn't say dual enrollment. It said summer 2020. But at the school they fixed that themselves. But we were never going to be able to get that because they didn't go the same speed that we needed to do. Like in one semester, they need to do at least like 4 to 6 projects. But for us, we do 2 projects only like one semester, taking forever doing one like basically one thing. So it's like just try to speed up the curriculum. Like so, the career center is still working, but they're not doing like what's need to be done later on after we graduate.
hey, um, go ahead, sweetie.
So
Kirsten.
it's a question saying, what can we do to make you want to come back to Beaumont after college? Honestly, I don't even want to come back mainly because of my safety. That is the biggest thing. My safety is in danger in Beaumont. I am terrified in Beaumont right now. Like, I don't want to stay out past 12 half of the time. Like, I am terrified of it's no safety. We have no protection.
And
Every
you know
month
that's
somebody is dying. It's always a shooting going on every night. It goes on.
and it's not
We're
fireworks.
always hearing it. We have no safety. So I don't think anybody particularly would want to come back. But if we had safety, if we had some type of recreations or anything, then maybe. But as of right now, it's not even a chance that I want to come back.
But I actually think it's not even it's that, but we don't sometimes a lot of people don't feel welcome to come back because they've had so many bad experiences. Like, Kirsten's not gonna come back. I might tip in every once in a while with the sun
I mean,
out.
I have family out here. That'd be the only reason why I would come back. I would move to Beaumont, but I have
Yeah.
family in Beaumont to just be like, oh, hey, what's up? Maybe stay 2, 3 days, but I'm not staying a week.
If I hit the lottery, I'm gonna pay my dues to Jesus, and then I'm gonna pay some dues to BU, and then I'm gonna go on about my business.
For
Exactly.
me
Right.
personally, I would come back for my family and try to start something to get more students involved. But me coming back to
Right.
stay, it's not no. It's, for me for arts, there's no opportunities here. I have to
Yeah.
go out of state across the country for me to do something and to get my name out there to everybody. But I just try
Right.
to come back to just try to get more people involved in certain things and just come see my family. And that's about it.
So
Yeah,
you
I feel like I would come back for family. I did say at one point again, I was talking to my dad, and I think I was talking to my mom too when I was talking about the business. I said I wanted to start off kind of somewhere big where I'm at in my forensics world, bring it back to Beaumont, get it started, then move back to where I'm at. I don't see myself staying anytime soon, not yet. But again, change starts here, but I still don't see myself staying.
so let's make the change, guys. Let's make the
Right.
change so we come
for
back. How
those of
about
you who
that?
are here. For
And
those of
George
you who are here,
Washington, this speak volumes there, y'all.
yeah.
I'm
For those
going
of
to
you who are
Lamar, but I
here,
honestly,
listen
I
on
don't want
change.
to be out here. I don't.
I understand. I really do. Yeah, I really do, Robert. And hopefully we can make some changes here that can kind of keep some of you all here. So before we go for the evening, let me ask you guys now: what school, Robert, are you planning on attending in the fall?
Lamar, I'm gonna be at Lamar. I'm probably the only one that's gonna be still out here.
No,
Oh,
you
Yeah,
wow.
we,
not.
Oh Lord,
we're gonna hook up. We're gonna hook up.
I
And
thought he
try to
said
make
Robert.
something
Oh
happen
Lord.
around here. We're gonna hook
I
up
mean,
and try to make something happen around here. What about you, Kennedy?
I'll be at Southern University in Baton Rouge, Louisiana.
And what are you studying, sweetheart?
I will be studying biology,
Oh,
eventually to go in forensic investigation.
go ahead. Go ahead. How about you, Kristen?
I will be attending Houston Baptist University. My major is biology with a minor in chemistry with a focus on pre-med.
Oh,
Ooh.
yeah.
Mhm.
Oh, wow. Oh, okay. Fast talking Nancy.
Um, I'm gonna be at the University of Houston in
I'm
Houston,
not throwing
Texas.
up a sign.
Me and Kirsten gonna
Yeah.
be kind of sort of in the same area. I'm gonna major in psychology because you are looking at a future judge.
Hello.
Yeah,
Hey, I see it. I'm with you.
Judge,
Yeah.
Judge
I'm with
Nancy
you.
Smith. All right now.
Maya.
Hi, I'm planning on going straight to the workforce. College is not for me.
Hey,
That's
nothing wrong with
okay.
that. Hey, nothing wrong with that, sweetie. They could get you a trade and move on. Oh, Alton.
I'm going to Lamar also,
He did that. He did that.
studying theater and dance with an emphasis in dance.
Great, great. Hey guys, I'm gonna be here. I have this show every Sunday and Tuesdays evening. I'm gonna invite you back before you all leave for school or start entering into college, and we're gonna talk more because I want more to come on and feel free to express themselves, just like you all did, and express yourself with the things that you want to see for a betterment of the city that you grew up in. You want to see more recreation, more activity, more concerts, more dances, more education, more homes, better streets. Um, you might want to be a city councilman, So I welcome you all again, and I appreciate you guys, and I know that we're gonna reach out to touch some other people to see if we can get some of those things that you all know that is needed in our schools. And what you told me tonight is that your school you was at a disadvantage,
Right.
and that is so sad to say that we got still have to be at that have a disadvantage in 2020, year 2020. So, um, and I hope everything get better. And I wish y'all luck in school. I'll be praying for you. But let's do this one more time, okay? Guys, I appreciate you.
Yes,
This is the
sir.
class of 2020, everybody, from Beaumont United High School here in Beaumont, Texas. And they just expressed what they felt like they wanted to, was on their mind and what they expect and where they want to go and what they want to do to help make a change to Black Lives Matters. And again, watch this show every Sundays and Tuesday. And we're on Facebook Live and YouTube Live. And with that, I'm going to say, hey, Thursday, we're having a special roundtable talking about some of these things here on Thursday. And we're going to be discussing about the city of Beaumont, some locals. So we're going to have a couple of attorneys here on Thursday. And on Sunday, we're going to have Pastor Mac from Antioch. I'm sorry, from and that's the church I go to. Cathedral of Faith Baptist Church. I'm sorry. Yes, Reverend Back from Cathedral of Faith Baptist Church is going to be with us, along with Dr. Aaron Reynolds from Barton Chapel and Dr. Terrence Grant Malone from the historical St. John Baptist Church
In the
out of
Catholic.
Houston, Texas. And he is originally from Beaumont and grew up in Beaumont. So we've got a lot going on Knowledge is Power. Please join us, please. Yes, Ramona, I threw it. I got thrown off. It is Cathedral. Thank you very much. I see your comments. I thank you so much, and I really, really enjoyed you all. I'm impressed. I'm impressed with all you all, and I don't want you to give up. Keep going and be strong. God bless. Talk to you later.
Thank you so
Thank
much.
Thank
you.
Thank
you
All right.
so
you.
Don't
much.
forget to vote.
Get some
Don't
play. Okay.
Vote. Yes, please
Yes,
vote.
sir.
I
Oh,
said, please
yes.
vote.
Please vote.
Yes, vote.
Yes,
Vote, everyone. Register to
vote.
vote. Register to vote and vote. Early vote is going on right now to July
Yes.
the 10th. So get out there and vote. Thank you guys very much. Love you.
love you
Love you too.
too.
Thank
Love you
you.
We have to
too.
wait.
Okay.